Oh, when does a draw feel like a defeat? Well, when you're Swansea City and have the game in your hands at half-time, absolutely battering Cardiff, but still leave with just a point. Here to discuss all that and get all their anger out are Rich, James and Hugh on Where Swans Walk. Welcome to the review of the South Wales Derby. Where Swans Walk. I'm going to let you guys talk because I can feel a tension here. I was at a festival the weekend to watch this on my phone. I was very impressed with Swansea in the first half, and I'll let you guys discuss the second half. Off you go, James. Kick us off.
Total dominance first half, really. And I thought, you know what, if we can carry this on second half, we could be looking at another 2 or 3-0. But it almost just felt like we just dropped back deeper and deeper as the game wore on. The substitutions were absolutely baffling. We still persisted playing a defensive midfielder on the wing. They made very positive substitutions, and we reacted by taking off Gonzalo Franco, replacing him with Jay Fulton, and putting Carl Norton at right back when they're playing with pace. William said he should have made those substitutions sooner. I think he made the wrong substitutions as well. It just felt like we completely threw it. They were in the ascendancy and we kind of just sat back and tried to be defensive. It was quite a poor showing in the second half for me.
Jump in, fellas.
Yeah, well, I think James got a point, but I think that also shows the lack of depth we've got and perhaps also the lack of fitness on some of the players who've been brought in. Because some of the starters, they went off because of fitness issues. They're not up to scratch, up to speed yet. They're still catching up, being brought in late. And the guys on the bench, the new ones that are coming this week, I don't think we're ready for to play. But I heard Franco had a big knock, a stamp really on his leg. So I thought it was a big part. He was the best player on the pitch by country mile. He was a proper dog, dominated that midfield. So it was a big loss losing him. Up top, Liam Cullen done well. He worked hard, but still, is he really the answer? Not really. I'm not sure. But he got his goal. He got to take them, tap in, great stuff. But yeah, we've got to, when we on top, playing nice football, got to get that second goal. It would be a different game then.
Hugh, did the manager wreck this result for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think the substitutions weren't particularly brilliant, but what frustrated me the most was the fact we didn't go for the juggler when we were 1-0 up and absolutely dominating. I still can't believe we just sat back and pinged it around the back for about 25 minutes, just sideways passing when we should have been attacking them. They were on the ropes and there for the taking. And we just, took our foot off the gas.
Yeah, you'll never see Aaron Ramsey play that badly. Again, maybe you will, I'm not sure. Kanga just was non-existent. Willock didn't feel like running. It was a very odd performance by Cardiff. I think because you neutralised every kind of threat. So it was for a neutral. There's only one winner at half time, and I know you were singing all your songs. Cardiff City, it's happening again, and all that. Our Cardiff City fan felt that the referee definitely had a Swansea City shirt on and let some tackles go in the first half. Sure you won't agree with that. Any issues with the refereeing performance at all, James?
I'd say so. Yeah, first half, literally all you had to do was breathe on one of them, and they'd fall to the floor. I think he was poor for both sides. For me, if I'm being honest.
What did you make of the sending off, Rich?
Well,
getting red.
Interesting one, yeah. It was for taking the ball away, I think, or something, encroaching on the pitch, doing it. There was a bit of an argument after the match with the assistant. He was sort of speaking with the press about that, and they were trying to get to the bottom of it as such. But I don't know, something or nothing really. Just wound them up and disrupted the game for me, if anything. And it was all that shenanigans over the hoardings then when the goal went in. So that just took up the kind of headlines in the end, which should have been a comfortable victory for us, ended up just being all the farce, all the late drama.
Hugh, have a look at these positives from social media. Franco, we've already mentioned. Cullen and Cooper energy. You agree with that one? I thought Cullen looked great. Cooper, would you agree with that, Hugh?
Cooper's a difficult one for me. I rate his attitude and his work rate yesterday, but for me, he's just not creative enough. We need a more experienced creative midfielder. We lack that in our game at the moment, and I don't think Cooper's the answer for me. I thought Cullen worked hard as well, but again, like Richard said, I'm not sure he's the answer either. I think once Potnet gets up and running and gets his fitness up, I think he'll take over that shirt every week. But yeah, it was a difficult one, and like James already said, Abdullah on the wing is just driving me mental. He should be there.
There's a lot of tweets that echoed that one. The rest of that, what Kevin says on the screen there, is the manager killed the game. I want to ask James about Ronaldo though. Every time I watch Ronaldo in a game, he doesn't perform. But every time you guys talk to me, he's exceptional. Gave the ball away 24 times. I mean, I'm not sure that's statistically correct, but did he have one of his worst games that you've seen in the Swansea shirt, James?
Yeah, yesterday he was extremely poor, if I'm being really honest. The thing is, we've got to be mindful that he is still quite young, so he is quite raw, but I just felt like yesterday was almost like he was trying to overcomplicate things, trying these little fancy flicks and tricks where really there was no need. I don't know whether he maybe just played the occasion yesterday, but he has got that in him where 1 minute you think he's absolutely brilliant and he's going to be a quality player, but then he shows you why a club like Swansea were able to get their hands on him is because he is still raw and there's still parts of his game that he has to get on top of, and ball retention being one that was quite evident yesterday.
Yeah, it was only the second draw in 17 meetings, I think, which is a statistic. So it will feel for Cardiff more like a victory, for you guys more like a loss. But isn't the biggest positive here that the double can't be done again?
Yeah, definitely. I think really, if you'd said before the game, you have a point and there's 1-1, I think, looking back, we would have probably taken that, just as after the loss against Middlesbrough on the opening day. Yeah, the way the game started and after last week's good performance, put a positive stuff against Preston, I thought, here we go. Beautiful. This is a good start of the season now. Build on the momentum. And it does feel like a defeat, I got to say, but looking back now, point to point, we're doing all right. If we win at West Brom on the weekend, it's looking rosy then, all of a sudden.
Yeah. Okay. We'll come on to West Brom in a second. Let's talk about transfers, though, because there's quite a lot of news from Swansea transfers, ins and outs to get through this week. Hugh, if we can start with you. First of all, Josh Key. The saga has finally been settled, I believe. The fee has finally been agreed. Are we any news as to what that is? I couldn't find it anywhere, but I mean, is it? I guess we're all happy that this has finally been sorted out.
Yeah, I don't know huge amounts about it, to be honest. I know we had to pay extra, some compensation of some description, but it's done and dusted now, which is great. We can move on, and yeah, the Russell Martin saga is still going on as well, I think, isn't it, that compensation?
However, signing Hugh this week, this Florian Bianchini, I understand, from a 4-year deal from Bastia. What do we know about Florian?
I've seen a couple of YouTube clips knocking around on Twitter. He looks pretty handy. Again, I don't know huge amounts about him, to be perfectly honest, but we're crying out for another winger. Maybe we can move Om inside a bit more and put him on the wing, and hope we can get him cooking.
James, any other transfers that need to happen for you? What would need to be done before Friday for you to be coming out and tweeting that the club have done good this summer?
I think a number 10 is a massive one for us. An out-and-out number 10. Someone, again, who I would personally like is someone like Harvey Nibbs from Reading, someone of that profile, and no big guy, give us something different in the middle. Possibly another winger as well. I know we are currently looking at a goalkeeper from the MLS, but I think the less said about that one, the better. At the minute, his stats do not make for good reading, and every time we go stateside for a signing, it's an absolute disaster. So I'm just hoping that that one doesn't go ahead. But yeah, we do need another goalkeeper, a 10, and probably another winger for me.
Okay. Jamie Patterson, Rich, contract expired, I think, this year. Was a new deal offered? He seems to be on his way to the MLS.
Yeah, Pato's gone. I can't remember the club that he went to. No, Charlotte was it? I think.
Charlotte,
yeah. Yeah, a bit of a shame. Give his all to the club, but at the end of the day, I think we're looking for younger players in certain positions, and I think, really speaking, at his age, really as such, it was the right time for both parties, I think, to move on. I'm excited with Florian coming in on the right hand side. He looks a player with a lot of pace. And he's just got that little bit of swagger about him as well. I was watching him finish in the start of the pre-match, and he looks a find. I think I got a good feeling about that one.
Okay, all right. Before we get to West Brom, I just want to ask all of you watching in the comments below, what's the best transfer deadline day signing that Swansea have ever made? It doesn't have to be the deadline day; it could be the deadline week. But the last minute deals, which ones stick in your memory? Which ones have had the biggest impact? We'll ask these three for their opinions on that. In a second, one other bit of business which doesn't affect Swansea, but it's divided opinion on social media. Michael Obafemi has gone from Burnley to Plymouth. Burnley fans were warning Plymouth fans that they haven't got a good deal here, that his attitude stinks. I said I'll ask my Swansea friends about whether anybody signing Michael Obafemi should be warned. Anybody want to come forward on this one to help Plymouth?
Oh yes. Brilliant player, absolutely fantastic player. Has the skill set and the intelligence to actually go to the very top. Came here, was rooted to the bench of Southampton. We gave him a platform, and he was quality. And he played alongside Joe Pro. And the thanks that we got for it is he spat his dummy out twice. First, a transfer option. And he spat his dummy out. I think one was at an away game at Stoke where he was due to actually play, and then he didn't end up getting on the bench with it. Shocking attitude to be, and it's a shame because he's such a good player. But if his attitude's not right, good luck to Plymouth for them.
Wayne Rooney's going to get the foot at managing that. Okay, let's talk about West Brom then. They've had a decent start, Rich. Especially the Hawthorns, they are a very, very tricky side to play against. How do you approach this one if you look Williams?
You just got to look at it as try and play confident on the front foot from the start. If we play at the same intensity we did in the first few minutes against Cardiff, and particularly in that period of good play we had against Preston, we'll do fine. We've got a really good record against West Brom over the last few years as well. I know we lost one of the games last year. I think it was up there. 3-2s, we've had a few, haven't we? Always entertaining matches. And yeah, it will be a cracker. And if we can get that 3 points, everyone will have forgotten about that draw, and we'll be in and around the playoffs then. Yeah,
3-2 the scoring has been the last couple of years here. It's a classic last year at August, wasn't it? At the same time of year. Hugh, okay, personnel wise, any need a rest? Or do you just go again with the same starting 11?
I'd like to see Vipotnik start. I think as much as I like Cullen, I think we need to give him a chance and give him the minutes to get himself used to up to speed with the Championship. But also we've got a cup game on Wednesday against Wycombe, which is another opportunity to bed a couple of the new players in. Abby and Bianchini, I think, will be a good opportunity for them to get some minutes, and we'll see how that goes first, I think.
Yeah. All right then. Score prediction, James?
Always goals in this one. I can see playing as a 2-2 draw up there.
Okay. Will you take a draw now, but all of you, I'm sure? Yes, you would.
Definitely.
I don't know. I think we're going to win. I think it's a nice 2-1 win away from home. Harry Darling bullet header in the second half. There we are. One of them.
Fair enough. They're not as strong as last year, West Brom. No, the results have been good, but they have lost significant players. All right, then. Let's see if we can get some best deadline day signings out of you. I've got one which is in my mind. See if it matches up with yours. Hugh, can you remember, good or bad, any last minute signings which
I think he was I think it was deadline day, and it's good and bad. It was Wilfred Boney when he came back for the second time, probably bankrupt us, but the announcement video was brilliant. And I think Renato Sanchez was deadline day as well, wasn't he? I could be wrong.
Worse.
In terms of profile, unbelievable. But in terms of performance, I was there when he hit the hoardings at Chelsea. Best player.
Yeah, Wilfred Brodie was mine as well. Was it? He came from City, didn't he? If I remember rightly. Rich, can you go back any further back than that?
Deadline days are never great for Swans, I got to say, as such. But we've had certain entertaining ones where we had, wasn't it Hugh Jenkins sort of phone miraculously went quiet all of a sudden. Yeah, battery went 1 year when I can't remember the player it was, but it was
James to Leeds.
Yeah, Dan James, that's it. That was an excellent piece of business, that was. And then that old farce 2 years ago, really, where the striker collapsed and several other deals did. So, deadline day is always a mess, usually.
Okay. Fingers crossed for a more positive one, this one. Thanks for joining us. I realise that, has it been a bit of therapy for you, that? I'm getting all that.
Yeah.
I won't share with you how happy the Cardiff family spoke to earlier was, because I was thinking back into your mood. Thank you very much. Enjoy your trip to West Brom, and we will catch you next week. Cheers, and thank you all.
Cheers, guys. Cheers,